All right, you guys, you got an old car, you're gonna have old car problems, which is easily repaired or fixed with a swipe of a credit card, but we're doing this on a budget.
Yeah, and we talk about old car problems. We got a lot of them over here.
Yeah.
You know, we go through the car just on a quick glance and we can see a lot of broken little plastic parts, right? They get dry rotted, they get worn out, they get sun bleached. Well, you know, obviously you can buy new ones, but we're gonna go the elbow grease route and do a lot of really inexpensive repairs. So we've got a couple different systems here from J-B Weld. You guys know this stuff. We've been using it for decades. Used to mix it together and swirl it up to two compounds. But now they got a cool nozzle here that mixes everything together, and it's a great way to apply it, use it as filler, you know, as kind of adhesive for all the different joints and pieces that we've got.
Yeah, now this is the Auto Weld. It's good for broken plastic pieces like you have right here. Now, it's a high-strength, impact-resistant automotive adhesive, sealer, and kind of filler. It's good for both the interior and the exterior, whatever that application might be. And like you said, it mixes so you get the exact amount of what you need.
Yeah, this is kind of the go-to. It doesn't shrink on you, which is nice. You don't have to high build it up for it to settle on you. In about 30 minutes, you can start to sand and maybe start looking at top coating. So a real great product to cover a lot of ground quickly. Now, I'll show you a couple of tips. Now, first, some of these other ones, the bumper weld, that's going to be perfectly formulated for the front and rear kind of bumpers, the urethane there. You've got seam weld here for seam sealing type applications.
Type stuff.
Yep. Now, when we start working on these plastic parts, you know, some of them are going to bond together pretty well and have nice strength, but there's very little surface area here. So once we glue these together, some of the tricks that you can do, you know, maybe a little scraper like this to help fill in cracks and build a little bit of structure. You can use anything from welding rod pieces, kind of bonded in there to give it some strength, popsicle sticks, you name it, something to give it a little bit of strength from all of this. And you know what, have at it, have some fun, man. So we've got a lot of parts here. Yeah, we're gonna dive into whether it's filling, gluing, building some structure up.
Hey, it's all about repairing on a budget. Nobody does it better than J-B Weld, so let's get at it.
Giddy up. You know, with that applicator nozzle, this is a pretty easy product to work with. And you can see we've done a couple different techniques to get different sort of joints put back together. On the big panel, we've got a couple of paint sticks that we've kind of cut down and really kind of give it some strength. We've added some of that welding rod in there as well.
Under that third brake light, where the original screws went in, those plastic housings were all broke off. But with the Auto Weld, it works on plastic and metal. So we just took some nut zerts, filed them all down, so they'd slide inside the old holes. J-B welded those in with the Auto Weld, and we're good to go. Got all those trim pieces fixed up and repaired, so the third brake light, the rear trim piece panel, all those things now are back to where they were from the factory. Everything's right, correct, and fixed.